What's up, everybody? Just received shipment of my AFE intake, so I'm gonna be installing that sometime this week, maybe today if I have enough time. Then we're gonna see if I get any more extra power out of it. Well, the car makes about 250 horsepower, so even if that's wrong, if we see an increase, we know it's making more power anyways, regardless of how accurate the actual power reading is. I mean, it feels kind of 240 horsepower-ish, but like, what do I know really? So we'll pop that in. I don't know if we're gonna do an exact tutorial, but I'll make a video maybe outlining. I got some exciting stuff happening. My girlfriend is getting a new car. Not to hype it up or anything, but it's pretty freaking nice. It's definitely nicer than this raggedy old BMW. It's not faster, but it's definitely sexier. So I'll be making a video about that soon too. So catch you on the flip side. Okay guys, just want to do like a little bit of an unboxing, even though I unboxed this already, so, you know, gave me a nice little thing here, license plate cover and some stickers. You know, who doesn't like stickers? We got the cover here, and then an instruction manual down there. There's the intake system over there, and we got like a little box with the filter, so just look for the screws. But this is like a pretty simple installation process. There's all the screws and the little clamp. Let's put that there for now. So basically, we're just gonna detach the snorkel, undo these bolts here, obviously take out the mass airflow sensor in there if you can see it, you know, loosen up this clamp here, and then there's one back here under the power steering fluid, I believe that is. So just, yeah, you can see it there, and then it's just pop it out, swap it in, tighten some stuff down, and that's pretty much it. So you always think like it's gonna be easy, and then you run into like several different problems on the way. So hopefully this is as easy as 𝐏𝐑𝐃𝐔𝐂 makes it out to be. I got the instruction manual here to help me out a bit, so we'll see in a bit. So it's been a couple days with the AFE intake, maybe a few days actually. I'm like trying to learn how to use the stabilizer, and I'm very tired. As you can see, look at these bags. So I just kind of want to outline some of like, well, actually all of my experience with it, the good and the bad. I was hoping this would be kind of like a, especially since it's made for the car, it would be kind of like a flawless, just you kind of throw it in, you tighten it down, you screw in some bolts, then it's ready to go. But like I had mentioned previously, you kind of do stuff and then everything that can go wrong goes wrong, and that's always the case with car stuff. It's never been any different. So luckily nothing like expensive is broken or anything like that. It's just the factory machining was pretty janky, and other than that, it works great. It's been a very amazing, pleasant experience, especially if you're into kind of louder sound, and there's definitely noticeably more power, but I'll get into that later. It's not like going to be a scripted video or anything. I thought I'd just maybe come outside in this beautiful 5-degree Toronto weather in May and just kind of lay out my thoughts on this thing. Okay, the lighting is not the best in here. I didn't feel like taking out my lighting equipment because it's a little bit cold out too, so I didn't want to bother with that. But anyways, the installation process for the actual intake was super easy. You just undo the snorkel, which is just 2 bolts, take that out. Then it's going to be really hard to see, especially because it's so dark, but there's just a couple bolts, or sorry, clamps. There's a couple clamps back here with the original intake system. Very easy. You just undo that, take out the hose, take out the MAF obviously, and undo it first too. One of like the spookiest things for me was just tampering with the power steering fluid here. I believe that's what that is, just because hoses can be kind of delicate, especially on older cars, so I didn't want to mess anything up there, but that was fine. And then all you got to do is drop in this, and then you put the new intake hose through, and I mean, like, the intake on this is super beefy. Like, it's huge. It's a thick boy. to be completely honest. And that's kind of what the most impressive thing about it was, because you can see that it's going to be way bigger and have more airflow. And it really, really did improve the actual acoustics of the engine from the front. It kind of sounds like the muffler delete I had just in the front of the car. But interestingly enough, it's very quiet for the first couple thousand RPM, and then once you get to about 2,500 or 3,000, it really, really pipes up. So I'll get some audio of that soon. But as excited as I am about this, I'm equally disappointed, I guess. And I'm just gonna briefly go over why. So the factory machining on this seems to be, like, AFE is a very reputable company, don't get me wrong, and they do a lot of great modifications, and they make a lot of stuff up to spec for these cars. And from what I've seen, at least, people that get this stuff, they never really have to go out of their way to make room in the vehicle to fit the mods. So I don't have to saw anything, like remove plastic from the engine bay or drill holes or anything like that. Like, it's all very easy. But as you can see, this is the most obvious thing. When I tried to put the cap on, none of the bolts lined up. So I just had to screw in whichever ones I could. And so these didn't even line up properly. I'm pretty sure these screws are in a bit sideways. And if not, I've like ruined the plastic around here. But I wanted to get the cap in, especially since it's been raining. I don't want a lot of water getting in there. And just to keep the filter clean, I mean, like, I just got it. Also, I mean, the whole point of the cap is to preserve the cold air in there, because it's a cold air intake, so, you know. Another thing they don't tell you is that there's a gasket O-ring type thing that you got to put under the MAF when you put it on the hose. It's pretty thick, and I mean, like, you really, really got to squish down the MAF. Well, you got to squish down the foam ring that the MAF sits on to screw it in, and that's honestly pretty terrifying, because the MAF is about $800 here, maybe more at the dealership. I mean, mine malfunctioned a little while ago, and I got it replaced for about $650. And that was including, like, tax and, well, I mean, like, it's literally a 2-second process to get that in there, because all you have to do is screw it on the original intake, so that was very easy. But and then this one's going to be really hard to see, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I'm going to outline it on Instagram. So you can see that there's one single bolt here, but there's no bolt anywhere else in the back of this. And so this is a bolt that screws in the intake hose thing. So basically the intake filter is right here, and then it's attached with a clamp to the hose that goes down to the throttle body. But I mean, obviously you would screw the intake hose into the box, but I couldn't do that because the screw hole on this side lined up, but it doesn't line up on this side, and I mean, like, it's really off. And I tried twisting it around, moving it up and down. I even got my girlfriend to help me, and she sort of took me out of the love spell I had with this thing, and I realized, like, damn, this is not put together very well. But again, like, I'm sure I just got a messed up part. So I'm gonna obviously be emailing AFE about this and just letting them know what's up and what's going on with this. So maybe they'll send me just like a replacement part or something. I'm really not looking forward to having to take this whole thing out again, because it was like a huge pain in the ass. I mean, it shouldn't have been, because I was watching the 𝐏𝐑𝐃𝐔𝐂 tutorial on how to do this, just because I wanted like a clear idea. It comes with like instructions, but the instruction manual can only help so much sometimes. Once you get comfortable doing your own maintenance and DIY with cars, and you're able to just like be, you know, like in a clear headspace and not like freaked out by anything you touch, it becomes a little more self-explanatory how this stuff works. But ooh, that was a weird sound. Sorry, I'm like sniffling because it's really freaking cold outside. I know it's hard to believe because it's May, but it's Canada, so what am I to do? Anyways, so in the 𝐏𝐑𝐃𝐔𝐂 video, he basically slides the hose right over the throttle body adapter, and he makes it look really easy. And I thought, okay, maybe I'll just take off the clamp and then I'll be able to slide it on easily, and nope. The throttle body adapter kept getting stuck on the hose, and I had to like take a flathead screwdriver and like push in the rubber so it would get in properly. So that was also a little bit annoying, but I mean, I understand, like, it needs to be tight, and it seems to fit properly. I haven't had any issues over the last few days driving it. Definitely feels faster. So I guess that's the bad and the ugly, but we can kind of get on to the good. It's really nice to drive with this. So I'm gonna hop in the car and I'm just gonna take it around the block, and I'm just gonna give you people a little bit of an idea of what it sounds like from inside the cabin. I don't know what it sounds like from outside. I don't have anybody here to help me film. I'm gonna try and get something from the outside. Let me just cut here, and then I'm gonna put my phone on a table and see if we can capture any audio. It's gonna be pretty ratty, but we'll test it out. Okay, I'm like so sorry about the audio quality on that one because that was like really terrible, but I'm just gonna do a quick drive around the block so you guys can get an idea of what the engine sound is like just in the cabin. Let me just figure out how I'm gonna actually position my phone here. Doesn't work very well. This is not ideal. I just like, ooh, a ground shot. That looks good. This is why it helps to plan your videos, but I just kind of wanted to come out here and talk. Okay, should I just put my phone in the cup holder? Let's see if it's gonna be vertical. Nope, that's a terrible idea. I'll wait till it just goes. Is that gonna fall? That is the stupidest thing. What if I just like squish it in right here? Sure, let's do that. That's gonna fall over for sure. I have no doubt in my mind. I'm just like trying to squish it in between my dash and the front vents. Okay, sure, let's just do that. Okay, backing out of my garage. Phone's gonna fall down. You can feel it. So I'm just gonna go around the block really quick, and you'll see what I mean by how the engine sound just kind of picks up. So here we go. Oh, yep, there it goes. Freaking! Oh my God! There we go. Oh, yep. No, my car's too powerful. So yeah, you're going for a little ride on my lap, if that's okay. How does my chin look? Unshaved. Okay. This is really crap. I don't know if you guys can capture how loud that is. There's definitely much more of a kick to the throttle now. It's much more punchy, especially in first gear. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a bad shift to first gear. First gear is like really bouncy. Okay. Let's call this the chin cam angle. Alright everybody, I'm back inside my dirty ass room. Hopefully that was like somewhat educational. I know watching me drive from my lap up is not the best, but you know, I tried, I guess. I have like no proper equipment for this. Filming with the phone in the car is always a struggle because my car just makes, it's so powerful. Like even if I super glued my phone to the dash, like it just couldn't hold. It's basically a supercar at this point, and I'm just trying to take you guys on the journey. So I also want to say thanks so much for all the views on my videos, especially the one where I ripped off 𝐷𝐉-𝐒𝐿 because I love him so much. Yeah, so that has been my experience with the AFE intake so far. Honestly, aside from the janky machining, I have not been able to get away from my car because it's been such a joy driving it, especially with the sound coming from the front. And I'm really looking forward to doing some more mods, but I'm just trying to figure out like what's affordable and what's kind of worth it right now. Especially because in Canada the exchange rates are so bad and shipping from the States is atrocious. So there are outlets here, like shipping the intake from AFE. I used an outlet called JSpec, and that was really, really helpful. I think to order it off of AFE to my house was like almost $900, and through AFE it was the normal price of the intake. So that was very helpful because otherwise I wasn't going to get it. It's not worth it for like almost $900. So hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for all the views and the funny comments and stuff. I try to respond to everybody and give advice where I can. I mean, my opinion is obviously not the end all be all, but I still like to help out people in the car community where I can, at least. Always cross-reference, guys. Don't just believe what someone tells you on the internet. Alright, peace out.